Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to today's webinar on engaging youth in climate action, pragmatically moving forward. My name is Imani Kumar. I'm the Deputy Secretary General with ICLEI and also the Regional Director with ICLEI South Asia. And I'm speaking from Delhi, New Delhi in India. Delighted to be your moderator today, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all, our distinguished speakers, participants from across the globe to this Urban Shift webinar, part of the Urban Shift webinar series on equitable and inclusive development. We are excited to be here today, 12th of August, which is also celebrated as an International Youth Day. And I'm happy that we are discussing on engaging youth in the climate action. Today's youth are the generation that has to deal with the decisions what we have made yesterday and what we are going to make today. Either they are good or bad. Therefore, young people globally want to ensure that they are meaningfully engaged and included in important decisions concerning their own future. This means being included in negotiations, in policy, in climate action planning, and in also implementation of the positive changes. So we need youth and we want them to be added into each and every activity. So today we are here to discuss exactly the same thing, the same topic, the practical steps on engaging youth on climate action moving forward. Our diverse panelists will share their knowledge and reflections with us on this topic today. We have an distinguished speakers on this panel, and we will take a look at how cities in India, Indonesia, and Sierra Leone are addressing the young people. We will also hear from a youth climate body based in China from an expert working with the young people across the globe. Next slide, please. Before we get started, I would go over a few technical details related to today's webinar. This webinar is available in English with interpretation in Mandarin Chinese, Bahasa Indonesia, and Gujarati, the language in India. Please click on the interpretation symbol, little globe on the below your screens. You can see that on the slide. And please control your panel and select your preferred language channel from that. We also want to inform you that this webinar is being recorded, and recordings in all the languages will be shared after the event. Next slide. As you can see, you are already muted. However, I request if you have any questions during entire webinar, you can write in the Q&A, the questions and answers box, and we are happy to take those questions to our panelists and ask them to answer them. So please add your questions to that. Next slide. This webinar is organized as part of, as I said, that Urban Shift project. The Urban Shift is funded by the Global Environmental Facility, the GEF, and led by United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and in partnership with the World Resources Institute, WRI, C40 Cities, ICLEI Local Governments for Sustainability, United Nations Development Program, the World Bank, and the Asian Development Bank. This session is on the basis of the GEF Sustainable Cities Integrated Approach, and we will look into how do we involve the youth onto this particular activities and this session also. Urban Shift supports cities to adapt integrated approaches to the urban development, shaping a resilient, inclusive, zero carbon future. Both with the people and planet can thrive on that. Next slide. Just to give you a few statistics, there are currently more than 1.3 billion young people aged 15 to 24. Nearly 90% of the population growth in these cities across the globe, and 60% of this urban population is between or less than 18 years of the age by 2030. So this demographic breakdown has undoubtedly led to the increasing involvement and recognition of youth as an important stakeholder. And the United Nations system has recognized this key role of the youth to play in tackling climate change and works very closely with the youth-led and youth-focused organizations around the world as part of the United Nations Joint Framework Initiative on Children, Youth, and Climate Change. That is a joint framework initiative. And first time in the history of Conference of Parties in the COP26, as part of the Glasgow Climate Pact, it urges the parties and stakeholders to ensure meaningful youth participation and representation in multilateral, national, and local decision-making process, including under the Paris Agreement. So the time has come. There is a mandate to all the national governments to involve the youth, and I'm happy that we are doing this webinar today. Just to give you a few some more information on the engagement of the ICLEI, ICLEI Local Governments for Sustainability on the Youth. Next slide, please. ICLEI recognizes the importance of the role of youth play in climate action and has been engaging with the youth through initiatives and projects across the offices all over the world. We have more than 24 offices and nearly representing more than 2,500 cities. ICLEI has partnered with ENGO, the official youth constituency of UNFCCC, and we are also working on the youth strategy, which will be published later this year, and focuses on the three pillars: knowledge sharing, capacity development, and governance and advocacy. So with this initial remarks, I'm happy that we have very distinguished speakers. And I just want to ask each speaker to be very precise. You have only 7 minutes because we have only 1 hour today. And my first speaker is Ms. Xiao Yawi. She's the program manager of CYCAN, China Youth Climate Action Network. And she's graduated from Durham University with a master's degree in international business law. So without wasting any time, I request Ms. Xiao to give her remarks. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Hi. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. And today I will introduce Chinese youth climate practices, and I will present in Chinese. So you can choose the interpretation channel now. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Okay, thank you. 好的，大家好，我是宇威，来自青年应对气候变化行动网络。那今天我会从我们的工作中。
Hi, how are you? My name is Wei. I am from Chinese. I am trying to introduce the Chinese youth and their function in the climate work.
首先，我来介绍一下。
First of all, let me introduce our institution. This is a youth institution in China in terms of climate change. So it is the first Chinese youth climate action network. It is a group of youth that is forming this organization in August 2007. We have about 500 university and varsity joining into this institution. We have more than 100,000 members. We have influencers, more than millions of people. We have very good project to move forward on youth understanding and also motivating them to actively involved in the climate change projects and also work. This is a platform and opportunity for the youth to involve in this area. We do not like to just teach and talk about theory. We believe in actions. So we give them the support that they are looking forward in 2020, end of 2020. We have a learners report of Chinese youth in climate change. We think that how to involve people from 35 and below, because they don't like to be lectured. They like to use actions. So we categorize all the youth in China into 3 categories. They people who wants to understand the topics, they try to improve their knowledge about this area. and also people who like, for instance, they like to learn about things from articles in WeChat, and also for you who wants to get involved in this kind of work, but they don't know how to start. And we can give them tools and practices and training and classes. And also third is for people who can come and become volunteers and get involved into our project. We can give them the actual opportunity to do action. So we give them tools and also ways and pathway to achieve whatever objective they have in this area. We can do multiple research and also give them improvement and updates on all the data and activities and news about the area. We can publish the reports that we receive in the industry or in this area, and we will also publish the any changes or any exchanges, any information we receive from other bodies or other entities. So, for instance, and also urban and also rural area development is also part of our work. We will also pay a lot of attention to the environment. In next month, we will have some of the very heated discussion in China. We will do an analysis and report. We have about 20 articles has been published, and 5 of them has been published already. And also about the information and knowledge and the past, we have a Joe party. This is a small group of meetings. There that we have about thousands of people involving in this kind of party. It's a very welcome kind of activities. Many youth like this kind of parties. It's kind of like a discussion, a small group brainstorming. We sometimes invite specialists and professionals to share their knowledge. So every party we will have a team. Sometimes we will have team about maybe what is the climate summit, what do they do, what is the latest information. And also we can talk about community changes and also about the carbon neutralization and things like that. We can talk about the kind of risks that can happen to urban area, to the cities. How do we start from us, from people around us to start making things better? So our youth friends will also take the initiative to get involved in the discussion and giving their opinions. So we sometimes also have our own games. We started table games. So we talk about the future of the climate and human development. It's kind of a table games that we develop based on this kind of theme. How it's going to influence humans. This is a very nice game that people like it a lot. In Beijing, Guangzhou, Wuxi, Changsha cities, we have started this game. We have more than 300 people getting involved in these games already. This is a game, but it is also giving us a lot of educational values. So many of our youth friends, they can come and play the game to learn along the line with the game about a lot of information of climate. They become players. We have 15 of the people has started becoming the organizer of those games. They play, the player become the organizer. So they actually attract 500 more new players along the line. Last year, we have other program. This is slightly different than the party and also the game. This project is requiring more involvement from the people. We hope that anyone who come and join in this program can eventually become the key person of developing the climate change protection program. So we are hoping that this program can be expanded to more than 30 provinces in China and attract more people to become the members of these projects. Okay, this project we have started last year. It has been recognized by they have been brought into the enterprise group, and then it was very recognized and it was very applauded upon. So these are some of the pictures we have taken during those activities.
Can I request you to finish now?
等一下，你现在讲完了吗？
Sorry, should I continue?
Yeah, one more minute. Please close.
Okay. 好 ，OK，那之后呢，我们还有一个关于
So after that, we have one more about a research program. So you want to see in the colleges and school, and we would like to do a research about the food wastage in the canteen of schools. I hope that everybody will pay some time, attention to because from different background, all these youth can come online to learn and do this research together. So hopefully they can have a better understanding about the wastage and how they can prevent wastage and how to protect the government. And from the project, from these activities, hopefully we can come up with maybe more than 20 articles from the research. We also have a community research from last year to now. We have done twice, 2 research. Allowing us to go to the rural area to observe and record down all the wastage and also environmental issues and also carbon footage. Hopefully it can bring up the awareness, and the most important thing of this project is, so since the beginning of this program, this institution in the last year, we have more than 50. They have already getting involved in our project. So these are the project and the photographs has been taken last year that we have the international work team.
Can I request you to stop now? We already
okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your information. I'm so happy that you're involving the communities along with the youth. And basically the exchange program, I think that is involving communities is very good. Congratulations to you and your team there on ground. Thank you. Again, if we have any questions, I will come back to you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
We have our next speaker. I'm happy to say that we have 2 urban shift cities. One is Freetown. We have from Freetown, we have head of sanitation is there with us. And the second city is we have Surat city. I'm happy that the mayor of Surat is also with us. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to this event. So the first, I will just ask Mustafa, head of sanitation, Freetown City Council from Sierra Leone. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Yeah, ma'am. Before you speak, I'm just asking Ms. Mustafa. Mr. Mustafa. Mustafa Kemoki, head of sanitation, Freetown.
Hello.
Can you hear me, please? Mustafa, is he on the from Freetown? Can we have the representative from Freetown? I can see Mr. Mustafa online, but you are muted, sir. If you are speaking, you are muted. Yeah, now maybe we will come back. We'll come back to you. The next speaker is, can I ask Eric, Mr. Eric Mohammed Atarik, Assistant of for Economics and Development from Bandung, Indonesia. Eric, please go ahead.
Oke, baik, terima kasih. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Greetings to all of you. Hopefully, all of you are in a healthy condition. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. I'm Eric, and I'm the assistant from the social environmental from the Bandung City. I'd like to inform you that we, the Bandung government city, basically has implemented various programs related to the youth and also youth community, and also there are also individually participating, which is not joining by the community based on the regulation, which is the presidential regulation. The youth is anything related to the responsibility, rights, capacity, and self-actualization and aspiration, and therefore the programs implemented by the government city based on the laws and regulation. I need to inform you that the population of Bandung City is recorded about 4.2 billion, where 20 of these, where most of them are youth. And also there is also hazard of risk and the impact related to the climate and also greenhouse gas emission, especially from the transportation and waste. And the role of the youth in tackling climate change, which is most impacted but less accommodated, is one of the constraints faced. And Bandung City is recognized as they develop a lot of creative spaces for youth, where one of them is the Bandung is developing thematic parks as the public space for interaction and creativity of the youth. Some of them are movie parks, music parks, single parks, Cikapundung Terrace, and many others. We have also developed various parks, which have thematic parks, especially in the activities of the youth and the citizens. We also develop co-working space with the city scale, and also we also develop co-working space in the sub-district scale so that they could do some networking, and also have potential for small and medium enterprises and startup and other creative spaces. Youth in Bandung City and every district, we also develop youth space or rooms, which are spaces which are for the activities of the youth. Bandung basically is developing and building sport facilities, working together with the other relevant stakeholders, including business actors and private actors. When we see the youth perception based on the survey, they choose the waste disposal behavior 63.4%, which is most concerning. Safety on the roads 58.3%, and traffic jams 56.9%. the significant number of respondents do not feel safe roaming around the highway and think that congestion is a concern in terms of safety, security, and comfort in the city. The priority programs that we have prepared for the youth, first is the improvement in air quality improvement, and also waste management improvement and intervention to reduce urban traffic. Based on the national policy, national climate change policy, there is law number 32 of 2009 concerning environment protection and management. Ministry of Environment and Forestry Regulation 33 of 2016, and also law number 1 of 2009 concerning water resources management, and government regulation 46 of 2016 concerning strategic environmental assessment, and other laws and regulations. And specifically at the Bandung City, there are key instruments that have been prepared by Bandung City, which is regional local regulation related to the midterm development plan 2018-2023, and local regulation 1 of 2016 concerning youth, mayor regulation 35 of 2020 concerning development and youth space, local regulation concerning waste management, and local government regulation concerning public order, hygiene, and aesthetics. Some initiatives of Bandung City in the for low carbon development is green open space for youth activities, where the green administration by the government in the green open space, such as the along the river banks, and we need to optimize and we have to administer, and also development, and also related to food security is urban farming. Citizen engagement in waste management, we have also optimized with the Kang-Pisman, which is an acronym with the reduce, sort, and reuse, where in this program, the youth involvement is the key for this project. As I conveyed, for the economic capacity improvement, such as small medium enterprise in co-working space and through urban farming, and the economic creativity targeting the millennials and the youth. In partnership, we have also been collaborating with the joint program between Global Infrastructure Basel, ICLE Indonesia, WRI, Gerak, and POI. The aim is to create safer urban environments for young people through empowerment and innovation, encouraging youth to contribute to solving their concern in waste, environmental pollution, traffic, safety, criminal abuse, and violence, where the partnership between the government and community and private sectors to provide facilities for youth activities and will be made even more optimal. In order that youth will be more actively engaged, they need more positive forums for their activities. The government, from hundreds of youth organizations registered, the government could only facilitate some and not all. If they could be facilitated, then we will be able to see whether they are active or not. The role of youth in synergy with the government is required, especially Indonesia in the next 10 to 20 years will have bonus demography, and therefore education and the involvement of the youth in climate change and food administration becomes something crucial and should be paid attention to. Those that we can present about Bandung City. Good afternoon. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Eric, for giving Bandung's information. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. And I'm so happy to see the activities, the actions on ground and involving the youth, especially on the green spaces and other activities, sports also. I think that's a good way to take it forward, involving youth and at the same time addressing the climate change issues, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, sir. If we have questions, we'll just come back to you, sir. I didn't see our the previous
Baik,
speaker,
terima kasih.
Mustafa. Mr. Mustafa, are you there? I didn't see him. No, I didn't see him on the. So we will just go to our next speaker, ma'am, ma'am from the Surat city, Surat, India, western part of India. Surat, thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for joining us. She will going to speak on sharing Surat's work on involving youth in climate action and policy development, the challenges she and the city face, and how they have started involving. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining us this session, and the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you.
Abhar, thank you.
ત્રીજા નંબર પર છે કે વિજ્ઞાનના પ્રદર્શનો જેવી ઇવેન્ટ્સ
Surat Municipal Corporation organizes events like science exhibitions, which are having climate change as their main theme, wherein students are showcasing models on climate change impacts, and practical models are created by using improved and innovative technology. Surat Municipal Corporation encourages youths and colleges students to organize climate change festivals, wherein there is photography exhibition featuring images of threats faced by climate change like glacier melt, floods, droughts, and desertification, etc., so that people get to know about the direct impact of climate change. Municipal corporations are also organizing various competitions on climate effects and environment in the schools and colleges to create awareness in the youth of city. Various NGOs like Project Surat and Innovative India are incorporating the services of youth to spread awareness amongst the citizen of Surat regarding source segregation of municipal solid waste and hazardous effect of open dumping and burning of solid waste. In order to motivate the youth of school and colleges to utilize the public transport, Surat Municipal Corporation is giving the concession passes of the e-buses and public transport to them. Majority of students are using the concession passes and are utilizing the public transports. The damage caused by most climate change pollutants will happen in the future. What challenges you have faced and what possibilities do you see for changes was the question asked to me, and the damage caused by most climate change pollutants will happen in the future, which means most of us won't truly be affected by climate change. It's a hypothetical scenario conveyed in charts and graphs. Thus, it is hard to educate the persons regarding the effects of climate change by mere projecting them scenarios. Modern conveniences like electricity, transportation, and air conditioning contribute to climate change, and remedies potentially involve significant sacrifice and lifestyle change.
ફેરફારોને લાગુ
But
કરી રહી છે.
on the contrary, government agencies are enforcing the changes and are promoting the behavior changes and actions which are reducing the carbon emissions. As for example, usage of e-vehicles, and people are also adapting the same. More focus is now on creating urban green spaces and city biodiversity parks, which can help in reducing the greenhouse gas effect and improve air quality.
Second question, what in your option is needed for young
What is
people to be
what, in your opinion, is needed for young people
to make the change?
to be more actively engaged, and who needs to make the change was the question asked. Sustainable production and consumption patterns must be promoted, and youth must be supported as environmental champions in their local communities so that they can be encouraged for the work they undertake. More efforts must be made to ensure that youth are ready to take advantage of new environment-oriented employment opportunities. Growing attention to climate change and sustainable development offers a chance for green economic growth around the world. This can provide the youth an outlet to contribute directly to the fight against climate change by adopting green behaviors in the workplace as well as
What do we need to
in their
energize youth engagement in climate policy? સરકારો આંતર સરકારી બિન
what
સરકારી
do we need to ensure and increase youth engagement in climate policy was the question. Partnerships should be developed between government, intergovernmental, non-governmental, and youth organizations for joint environmental initiatives aimed at building the capacity of youth as future leaders and driving forces behind a new climate change regime. More works and ideas of the startups created by the youth of countries should be encouraged by the government so that more and more research and development work can be done by them to find the solution to mitigate climatic changes. We conclude here, and Surat Municipal Corporation is working very hard towards making Surat an urban shift city, transforming the city of Surat for people and planets.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your involvement and including involving the youth in Surat city.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And just want to congratulate you also on all the awards you are getting on the smart cities front, and under your leadership, I think a lot of activities are happening. So just want to thank you for your time, and we will just come back, ma'am, if we have any more questions on this session. Yeah, I was told that there is a problem with our previous speaker, Mr. Mustafa from the Freetown city. I don't see him joining our seminar, our webinar. So maybe we will skip with him. If he comes, then we will give him some more time. But as we have few minutes from that particular space, I'll just want to take forward the questions. Sir, from Indonesia, from Bandung City, I think there is one question. Maybe if you can answer, sir. The question they're talking about, what is the National Action Plan on Climate Change at Indonesia after the UN IPCC report on February 22? National Action Plan on Climate Change. Is there anything you want to add, sir, from Indonesia, Bandung City? Mr. Eric? Mr. Eric, are you there? No, I don't think, I didn't see Mr. Eric. There is a problem with your mic, sir, I think. Eric, can you hear us?
Mohon maaf, bisa diulang lagi?
Could you please
there is
repeat again the question?
Can you repeat it?
Yeah, the question they're asking, what is the National Action Plan on Climate Change at Indonesia after IPCC report, February 22? UN IPCC report, what is the National Climate Action Plan? What is the status?
Ya, jadi secara nasional kami sudah tadi kami sampaikan sudah masuk dalam
nationally we have included in under midterm national development plan, and it is the concern of our President Joko Widodo about climate change. We have also translated into national midterm development of Bandung City in terms of climate change. Some of the steps that have been done as we have also did emission tests, and also about the parking space, and also for office, and also vehicles that could be parked, only those that have passed the emission test. This is the commitment of the Bandung city involving climate change, especially Bandung is between hills and mountains, and so all the activities pro environment are promoted. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. There is one question to Mayor Ma'am from Surat is asking, is there a carbon footprint? Ma'am, can you answer? From Surat city.
एक प्रश्न पूछे छे के कार्बन फुटप्रिंट छे?
An average carbon emissions per in the Surat city. The answer. Okay, ma'am, if you have that information, what is, if you have done carbon emission inventory for Surat city, what is the per capita emissions maybe in Surat city, or any other information if you want to share, ma'am? We will come back to you. Mr. Mustafa, can you hear us? Yes, I can see you, Mr. Mustafa. I think you are muted. Can you hear me? Sir, you're muted, sir.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you also. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to apologize for the late joining of the meeting. As you all are aware that there's currently some issue going on in the capital city, Freetown, and also with the youths.
So your voice is very low. Can you speak a little loudly, or maybe near to the mic?
Okay.
Oh, it's clear.
So as I was saying, there was a problem all of these days from our city with the youths and the authorities. So that is why I was late. So, but notwithstanding, I will do my presentation now. You have to bear with me because I'm having some problems here. Okay. So currently, what we are doing is like as like any other developing cities, waste management and youth unemployment are some of the major.
I'm sorry, sir. I cannot hear you well.
From the World Bank, studies conducted by IMC 2017, the report shows that
Can you
only
please
20...
adjust your mic again? I think the voice is very low.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah. From the World Bank, studies shows that IMC in 2017, the report shows that only 21% of solid waste and 6% of liquid waste is safely collected and disposed of. So this solid waste disposal in Freetown, this is how it looks like. Freetown has a population of about 1.2 million people, with 35% of its population live in below income informal settlement. Most of these slums communities fall around the hilly sides and coastal sides of the city, which are not easily accessible by motorized vehicles, making waste management collection major challenge. 71% of households in Freetown earns less than $1 per day. Therefore, residents could not afford the fees charged by existing waste management components. The lack of sustainable waste management system and infrastructure was also a challenge. As a result, people dump their waste in gutters, streams, streets, and the backyards. So what are we currently doing? We are trying to change behavior by conducting a cleaner zone competition, enforcement of bylaws, media engagement, sanitation hour community engagement, and how do we intend to do the collection? Public space cleaning, transfer of sites from dumping sites to greening. We clean the dump sites and plant trees and the likes. Disposal and recycling. Invest in new establishment of dump sites, new efforts for recycling, materialize, and energy. Okay. The project itself, the Sustainable Waste Micro Enterprise Project was conceived around the dynamics of Freetown waste collection challenges. The project is funded by the EU and the IOM with an objective to empower and capacitate existing and new community-based groups to provide waste collection services to hard-to-hit areas, low-income households, and small commercial business in Freetown. So we divided into these projects into these phases. 83 micro enterprises group of 10 team members. We are trained to develop a sustainable waste collection service in hard-to-hit areas to low-income household earners. How do we intend to do this? Provide tricycles, equipment, and effective training, mentorship in financial operations management, health and safety skills, and business development. Why? Improve sanitation, increase solid waste collection to 61%, to create livelihood opportunity for youth in informal settlements. The strategies. Through the use of waste registration data, communities with no less waste collectors service we are identifying. Youths from these communities were selected using criteria trained on waste collection and disposal, team building, financial management, business development, and risk safety management structures. 83 tricycles carts were provided for a sign of 83 groups of 10 members per group. The teams comprise of a lead, a rider, waste collector, marketer, and waste attendant. The tricycle groups were incorporated into the FCC block system, which divides the city into 48 wards into 8 blocks. A block coordinator was appointed for each block to coordinate, facilitate groups activity at block level. The block coordinators also serve as a liaison between FCC and the tricycle groups. Operations. The tricycle groups collect waste from households within low earning income, a fee of not less than $1 per kilogram. The tricycle groups are also contracted by FCC to sweep streets and public spaces management. Each group is assigned to a street within their designated block. Street sweeping starts at 5:30 a.m. in the morning and ends around 9 a.m. FCC directly manage public space cleaning, while household collection is run by private management services. So mentoring. Project coordinator is supported by 2 business development consultancies firm.
Sir,
The role of the
can I request you to finish in a minute, sir? We are running out of time. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So what is the impact of this project? 1, creates job for youths in informal settlements, increase waste collection from a baseline of 5,000 households, an additional 35,000 being registered. Also, enhance public space cleaning and close illegal dump sites. Climate change, to create climate change ambassadors. Increase waste collection. The addition of 40 more tricycles will significantly scale up collection citywide. Approximately 15,000 of households will be registered by the end of the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Thanks. I think engaging youth is really helping the city, and I'm happy to listen that you created jobs, you created solve the environmental issues, also including the waste management, other things. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
We will skip to the further question answers. We will come back to you, maybe if we have time left. We have the next speaker. I'm happy that we have a representative, Ms. Elisa. She's the manager from Rome Center for Sustainable Development from UNDP is with us, and she's going to talk about Youth for Climate Challenge. Ms. Elisa, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me. I'm very pleased to be here to listen to all of your inspiring experiences. I really just want to take a very few minutes of your time and take this opportunity to announce an initiative the UNDP is working on, and I believe is very much aligned with what we've been discussing today in terms of really empowering youth to take action for climate change. The initiative that we're working on is composed of 3 components. The first one will be a Youth for Climate major flagship event that will be held in New York on the margin of the UN General Assembly, and will also serve as a platform for launching and formally announcing the initiative. The second component is a knowledge hub that we're building so that all the partners that we're starting to work with can have a space to share examples and experiences and allow young people to network and create a community of practice. And the third component, which I would very much like to draw your attention on, is a component for action. So we really aim to promote and empower young people and organizations that are working or are led by young people to take action and be supported as they do so. So I would really very much like to invite you to check our website, check our media pages. I will leave it maybe in the chat. Because in September at this event, we will also launch a call for innovative ideas, and we will make available grants for both individual young people or young people in small groups to be supported if they have a very good idea, innovative idea on how to tackle climate change. And that, by the way, will include ideas in the area of urban resilience to climate change. And also for community-based organization working with young people or led by young people to work in their communities to promote action on climate change. And again, urban resilience will be one of the topics. So we're actually very grateful that we had this opportunity to present to you today, and that we had an opportunity to discuss our program and identify possible partnerships with ICLE. Of course, if anyone has any questions, I'm here, I'm available. And again, thank you for allowing me to introduce this initiative. I will add the link and the information in the chat. But I don't want to take up any more time because I know that you might want to ask questions and we are running almost towards the end. Thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for this information. And yeah, I think this is a good example, good offer to all the youth all over the world. Please come out with any innovations if you have. I know that I have to close in 2 minutes this entire session as we are running late. But maybe one last question I just want to ask each of the panelists. How can we bring youth, not from the schools, but how can we bring youth from the remaining youth, not from the schools, to implement the climate actions on board? Maybe if you want to answer in one word, maybe we'll start with Eric. Can you tell me what is the one word? How do we bring youth into the climate action?
Ya, pemuda harus dipersiapkan secara keilmuan.
Youth should be prepared in science, and so they are more prepared when there is a policy on related to climate change. Bravo, the youth.
Thank you, ma'am. If I ask you one question, youth को हम climate action में कैसे लेके आ जाएंगे? एक word में कैसे लेके आना है? Ma'am, from Surat. No. Mustafa, Mr. Mustafa, how can we bring youth on board for climate action?
Bagaimana Anda dapat menyampaikan sesuatu terkait dengan perubahan iklim ini?
You're muted, sir.
Anda masih mute. Coba di.
Yes, for me, I say it's two words. By creating the enabling environment and the political will.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Ms. Shaw, any answer from you? How do we bring youth? I know that you are bringing a lot of youth in your activities. One word. Ms. Shaw from China Youth Climate Action Network.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Okay. For me, I think it's belief. Like we should believe young people can make a difference and give them support.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for all of you. I'm very, very sorry for as we have very less time. I know that this is a very important topic that we can have discussions. We have a lot of questions in the Q&A. We will go back to all the panelists and get answers for all those questions, and maybe we'll get back to all of you on that. With this, I will just want to close this session at this time. And I just want to thank all our panelists who has participated in the session today. And thanks a lot for all of you. And there are a few more events coming up from ICLEI that we have Daring Cities coming up in the month of October, 3rd to 7th October. So if you are interested, please join us. We also have a CDP and ICLEI track, ICLEI CPD webinar on the 8th of September. And there will be another Urban Shift webinar that will be in the month of November. With this information, I just want to thank each and everyone for your cooperation, and thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.